All right, so this is a very different kind of episode. This is more of an announcement episode, to be quite honest, but it's also a year in review, as I'd like to call it. It's on my podcast sites. I'm going to be announcing that this is going to be the end of my podcast. I'm going to stop putting stuff on Spotify, Amazon, all that stuff, for a number of reasons. The number one reason being, the formats don't really match up. I feel like I'm kind of limited by making a podcast and putting it on YouTube. There are some YouTube ideas I have that I want to try out, and the format of it doesn't match up with a podcast episode, and I don't really have time to do both. Like, I've seen all these famous YouTubers and stuff, like they have a YouTube channel and a podcast. I'm not famous, and I'm not at that point where I have the time to do both. So I'd like to give YouTube a try, and so I'm going to be pushing the podcast into the background. But I'm still very thankful for this entire year. It has been a whole year that I've been doing this for, and I didn't think I would do it for this long. It's super cool. I've proven to myself that I didn't just drop it. It wasn't just a thing I wanted to do. It's excited me and given me a lot of joy. And, when work is hard or anything in my life is difficult, it's really cool to have this kind of fun event every week to fall back on. And so I'm very thankful to all of you who have supported me through this entire thing. I hope that you continue to watch my YouTube videos. I'm planning next week to release my first of the new format. And I'm very interested to see what I can do with a YouTube video. I've always liked making movies, and I think YouTube gives me an interesting medium, I guess, to work with. It's gone are the days of me and my brothers playing with sticks in the background while we pull out my little camcorder thing. So yeah, thank you to all of you. If I had to name all of them, there's so many people. Most of my family has supported me, whether that's my aunts, my uncles, my mom and my dad, my brothers. Most of them have appeared on the podcast in one way or another. My Uncle Joe, my Aunt Shelley, Tim Skinner has appeared on it. My college friends, Dan Riddell, Will, Jonathan, even Jasmine has appeared on this podcast, sort of in the background. She was originally the person who was correcting me when I make mistakes, but then she told me that she'd prefer to just listen to me instead of trying to correct me on camera. So, but I'm just very thankful to all of you. Again, it's just been super cool because I didn't think that this would be a thing I would even enjoy. I always hated hearing my voice, and at some point I have been able to listen to myself and on YouTube and stuff, and it was just a really cool switch that I wasn't embarrassed by myself anymore. And I don't know when that happened, but it's just really cool. But yeah, so if you were a podcast listener, no longer will there be stuff on Spotify, Amazon. The older stuff will still be there. We got to 48 episodes. If you don't count all the discussions with other people and the collabs and all that stuff. So well over 50. A year in, we had close to 800 listens, which I guess isn't a lot, but for me is huge. 800 people listen to me in multiple countries. It's just been crazy. So I'm very, very interested to see, what can YouTube offer me? What can I do with it? And I hope you guys stick around. And so that's all I really wanted to say. If you want to stay tuned, I do have a little added bonus thing that I'm going to throw in at the end of this video. So I hope you all have a great week. So long. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Connor, and you are listening to another episode of Film Talks. Alright,
you're holding it right there?
Yeah, this is where I have to hold it. If I hold it out here, I can't hear this. So I have to go here.
I was on debate.org and some of the comments.
It sounds like you don't have an opinion. That's it.
I do. I'm going to get to mine, but you'll see when I read this why I had to explain this. Okay.
My wife Shannon and I saw Tenet in the theaters, and you think Interstellar's bad because of that? Tenet is by far the worst offender, where there were certain points where, like, you could physically not understand what people were saying because a helicopter would be too loud.
Also, Dan, I just want to say that I saw your comment on my last video. Is this, is this fancier? I don't know. You tell me.
I don't see that as a negative.
I didn't say it was. I said they did it okay.
You immediately do when someone says girl power. You're like, oh, that's
right,
not
whatever.
a reason to tell the story that way.
It was fun. It was a blast being on here. And yeah, I would like to see more personally, and it'll be cool if I could come back on.
Hey Connor, first time caller, long time listener. I think both of us would agree that Deadpool is a phenomenal movie.
Humans must steal money before Nuke destroys Las Vegas, but zombies are fast and smart. So yes, not intelligible.
Hey Connor, super excited to have been selected to give a movie suggestion. Ever since your first podcast recording, I've wondered about your take on my favorite movie series. So my question is, do you think the new Planet of the Apes movies are better than the older ones?
And thank you to all of you who have been commenting and talking with me. I really enjoyed. So thank you, and so long.